All right, guys. So I've got submissions from I think 5 of you. So we'll go through that. And incidentally, if today was not the final deadline, of course. If you at any point want to submit anything over the course of the week, we can look at it at any time. These drills that I've been giving you, this really is ongoing homework. They're built to give you something to work on at home, and you can never do too much of it. You can never basically, what we have at work, but what we have at home to work with is structure, guards, footwork, lunges, and various actions that don't necessarily involve another person. So, we're trying to string together as many of those as possible to work on at home. So by all means, take the opportunity and firm up some basic mechanics. All right, so first up, we've got Dan, who is right out of the gate. Incidentally, I think I'm having a few connection issues today, so if things go south, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay. So first video from Dan. All right. So we've got controlling the line drill, full form in a Fabre stance. Okay, so that's pretty decent. Dan, were you intentionally performing those cavazioni in two choppy tempi?
I was trying to make them slow. I found that when I was doing, it was hard to see what I was doing when I was doing them at full speed. And so in slowing them down, they moved towards those two distinct drop and then up and guard change.
Yeah.
So sort of, I guess the answer is sort of.
Okay. Dan is absolutely right, guys. And this is what I've been talking about for a while now. The way he put it, you can't see what you're doing when you're trying to do it at full speed or string everything together in one tempo. For some of you especially, this is the way to go. Each little thing, each little tempo, or even each little half tempo, one at a time, so you can actually see where things are going. So that's a really, really important training technique. Certainly when we're involved in building a drill the way we're doing now. All right? So when we started building the drill, we looked at isolated techniques, guard changes, cavazione. We can break down those actual actions themselves into their component parts, which is what Dan is doing right here. Just to look at the cavazione, right? So yeah, so Dan, one thing I would suggest is you can smooth it out a little bit, even if you're doing it slowly, even if you're thinking of it as two separate actions. You don't actually have to stop one action to begin the next action, right?
That makes sense.
So right now it kind of looks like you're cutting down and then cutting up, right? As opposed to just dropping your point and bringing it up. So okay. just a little bit lighter touch.
Yeah.
Okay, and I really only had one other comment, is that as you perform your guard change strikes, your you could wait a little bit longer on the turn of the hand, especially going towards seconda. If you look at your strike in seconda,
Yeah.
right, you can't really tell as much when you're doing it with a dagger, but if you were doing it with a sword, you would see that point lagging behind.
Right.
Yeah. So again, make the transition towards a terza before you rotate it into a seconda, and that kind of applies to quarta too. You're doing a good job leading with the point, so I really don't have a problem with your quarta. Just just watch it. That's all. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. All right. So nice work.
Thank you.
Now we're doing the same thing from a capo ferro stance. Always glad when the scholars stick to their roots. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to say that your stance here is a little bit better structured. You're a little bit sitting a little bit better on your hips. Fabris, you still have a tendency to for your body to go a little bit out of line with your hips.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you work in a mirror?
I don't, but setting up the camera has actually been really helpful. I don't have anywhere in my house where I can be in a stance and facing a mirror.
Right.
But the camera lets me do that, and so I've been noticing some stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So when you see yourself in that Fabris stance, just take the extra time to just roll your body back onto that front hip.
For sure.
Okay. Yep. So you're using your body nicely to direct the point. Maybe just, okay, good terza there. So maybe just refuse the body a little bit more on the inside line.
Okay.
If you look at that inside find, I mean, we're not talking counter guards here. Oh, let's go back. But you see how your chicken wing is kind of hanging out there as a potential target.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. So again, use the chicken wing as your steering wheel. Pull it back at the same time, or in order to pull that left shoulder back.
Okay.
Other than that, this is all looking pretty good. Yeah. So just smooth out that cavazione action. It's also, when you're doing, like I was saying before, when you're doing it with a dagger, it's a lot harder to do the proper action with the hand.
Yeah.
So it's all going to look a little choppier.
Yeah. And sadly, my sword is in my locker. So
I am vindicated by always wanting to have my swords on my study wall.
Yes, very much. I miss them now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is Jim here today? There he is. Okay. Okay, Jim, you are up next. And you gave me some stepping and some guard changes. Okay, stepping is looking good, by the way. You're definitely you're fixing the foot creep issue. There's still a little bit of rocking going on. Again, that tends to be a matter of your center of mass being a little too high, right? So as you move your body one way or another, it tends to rock a little bit over your knees because of its momentum. And I understand, old knees are a problem. Just so you know, the more you bend your knees, the more you fix that problem, right? The more you keep everything moving together. But definitely an improvement. Okay. So finding on the outside, finding on the inside, on the outside, and on the inside. Yeah. Looking good. Looking good. Okay. Were you working with that little lean of the body over the knee as you find on the outside? Because I'm not seeing it a lot, but you may have not been trying it.
No, I work with it a lot. It just doesn't look like I am. Or maybe it's when I do the combination into the step, it doesn't look like I am. But yeah, I'm
Okay.
seriously working that.
Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So I'm not seeing it. At least I'm not seeing it. If I'm seeing it, it's very, very subtle. So let me just go back and see the whole thing. Oh, yeah. So I want to go back to the top here. Yeah, I see it. I see it. And then again, you know, the more you bend your knee, the more you are able to lean over it, right? Your body can't go very far because your knee's not going very far. So that's just an observation, right? It's not a critique. You know, the more you will be able to bend your knee, the more you'll be able to lean your body. And that really applies to the Capo-Ferro stance as a whole. I would say, like I told Dan, I would say that try to pull that chicken wing back a little bit as you make the inside find. You know, try to avoid anything being a target through your sword. You know, that doesn't actually have to push your sword aside to get there. And really, that's just a matter of remembering that the left arm is a part of the structure. You can use it to direct the structure, but it's always a part of it. The more we work with guards and guard transitions, the more evident that becomes. The people working with the Faber stance know it even more. Good. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. Okay, let me just check my notes here. Yeah, that's right. So I noticed, and here, let's go back and look at those guard changes. You have do you just want to work on the timing a little bit more?
Hack that.
You tend to make the guard change and almost complete it before you go into the step, right? Whereas remember, the two actions are one. You're leading with the point, but finishing everything together. See that? And step, and change, and step. That was a little bit better timing. Yeah. So, and there you're leading with the back foot. That's very good. All right. So yes, really, it was that first one that I think I noticed. Good. Okay. Now, in terms of the whole tabletop idea, that was a much better lunge, right? You started in terza, you brought yourself down to it, and seconda. Good. Keep your back foot on the ground. Yeah. So, okay, there you, from the front, I can see that your point is not quite in line before you make the turn to seconda. So the seconda is actually weakening you a little bit on the outside. Okay, terza, okay, on the inside. Yeah, so as you made that guard change, you kind of made it with your body, but your point didn't quite follow. Let me go back. Outside, inside. Yeah, so so see here you're about to make the turn in seconda, and you see that opening over your arm. And then when you turn to seconda, there was a bit of an angle, which tells me that the point had been left behind. All right. So work on making your seconda, your strike in seconda, a little straighter. right? So that you don't get that opening over your own blade. Even in seconda, with a strike, the sword should still be in line with your arm. Okay, looking good, Jim. The footwork's looking a lot better. The turns of the body were very controlled. I commend everybody for working nice and slowly on this. Okay. Oh, no, that's all I'm going to say right now. Okay, Mark is here? Yes, he is. All right, we got a few from Mark. Let me just look at notes. Okay. Okay, so inside fine, nice. Cavazione was nice. But Mark, look at your actual strike. So you're in the inside line, and you see how you're still kind of lunging in the inside line, even though you're in terza. Right? You still have to bring that arm around and in line with your shoulder. Otherwise, you're just opening yourself up. Yeah, this is supposed to be a guard change, right? So you're going from shutting down one line to shutting down the other. Remember the wall exercise I gave you, right? Place yourself up against a wall, and then bring your arm, when you're going from the inside to the outside, bring that arm right up against the wall. That tells you that you're where you should be. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, same thing there. Yeah. So terza is a little bit of your bugbear. So if you're going to work something, work the hell out of that. You're doing it. You're going much more slowly. Very good with that. Right. I'm seeing a lot more control. I especially see it. It's even more clear when you see it from the side view, that you're controlling your actions a lot more. You just have to make sure you get that arm in place. All right, now we're going to the inside, and you see we're still dealing with that point leg.
No.
See the hand going before the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is pretty consistent when you go from terza to quarta. Again, nicely controlled. You're moving the hand with the body, but you got to move the point at the same time.
Angle of the wrist.
Yeah. Get rid of that angle of the wrist. Exactly. Begin the action in terza. Mostly, if you waited longer to turn your hand to quarta, a lot of this problem would go away. You're trying to go there right away. Make the turn of the body still in terza, point the target in terza, and then flip the hand into place. Okay.
Didn't
But
I
yeah,
flip after that got across the line?
I beg your pardon?
I thought on that last one, I
Let's see.
thought I saw the tip before I turned.
Okay,
Cross line. Not that one, the one before.
yeah. Okay, so you see where the tip is right where your shoulder is, and your hand is opposite your chest. It's not as pronounced as you've done in the past, but it's still there. So and with Rapier, the slightest little angular problem is going to give him an opening. So if I'm seeing even the slightest motion of the hand before the point, it just tells me that the blade is not joined to your arm properly, and that you're not leading with the point. All right, let's see it from the side. Okay, nice stepping, very nice control, still a little hyperextension in the arm. And incidentally, that hyperextension is part of what's causing you to open up your outside line, because you see it from the front view as well, right? You see that hyperextension, and it makes you lose control of your actions. You extend, and as soon as things lock out, the hand tends to get much more joined to the body than you want it, and the body is turning to your inside, so your hand turns to the inside.
Am I hyperextending at the shoulder or the elbow? The shoulder seemed to me to be the shoulder.
You're hyperextending from the shoulder, and that right. Okay, so quarta is more relaxed. Terza is your problem. There. All right. So that line should be more relaxed. In fact, the terza that we've been talking about, right? It's lower. It's on that tabletop, right? You should be bringing your shoulder down to where your elbow is, not bringing your elbow up to where your shoulder is.
Got it.
Okay, and if you're not able to bring yourself down that far, then at least let me see the action of the shoulder coming down to the elbow, coming down towards the elbow. Here, all I'm seeing is the arm coming up to the shoulder.
Understand.
Okay. Well, I was going to say something else about that. Oh, yeah. And this is something that would be helpful for everybody. When you strike in a low guard and you're using that chicken wing, and you're trying to point it straight up, if you lock out your shoulders, if you tense up your shoulders, let me actually demonstrate this a little bit. When you tense up your shoulders, right, the arms tend to move separately from the body. You keep it relaxed, and I roll this up, and I keep this relaxed, it tends to dip my body forward because it's raising this shoulder, right? Like so. This raises, this comes down to where it belongs in that terza line. So from here, there, as opposed to that, all right? The arms don't move, the arms move in concert with the body. They don't get locked to the body, but they direct the body. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I've been thinking that it's my shoulders more than my elbow that's causing some of my problems.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, I don't see a problem with your elbow, except that in the hyperextension, you're locking out all the joints and losing control, and that's why you're not hitting that terza target.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Other than that, I've got good timing on the attacks. I'm definitely seeing arm, body, then foot. So that's getting a lot better. Good control of the inside line on your approach. Look at that again. Yeah, so you see how you led with the point there? That's what you should be doing with your extension into the attack.
Okay.
Good. Okay. So nice control there. All right, let's go on to the next video. Oh yeah. For some reason, after Jim, everybody's last video I can't access. So I downloaded them. Hang on a second.
Do you want me to resend it?
No, I got it. Hang on a second. I just have to share the screen properly. There we go. Okay, there we are. Okay, what have I got here? Okay. Okay, so other than the fact that you're having the same issues with the outside line, I'm seeing really nice control. The slower pace is really working for you. We still have that broken wrist, which is causing the angular problems and the point to lag. You need to keep your eye on your point at all times, because if you take your eye off it, it's just not going to go where you want it to go, right? Especially when you have something so long in your hand that is so disconnected from it. And I don't mean that your sword is partially disconnected from you, but everybody's rapier is, just because of the length. So it's all about looking at your point and looking at the target and connecting one to the other. I strongly recommend working with a target, an actual target that you actually hit. All right, let's move on. Okay, arm and body control is markedly better. Good.
Shoulder went down.
Yeah. Okay, so generally, the sequence is good. You've got good control over the gross motor actions. You just have to fine tune what's going on at the end of your hand. One thing that helps, and this is for everybody, is especially with a drill like this, you need to actually visualize visualize your opponent's blade at all times. We're going through these rote actions, but they're all in response to something our opponent is doing. I mean, we know that, but we're not seeing that in front of us. We're just seeing what we're doing. So once you've got a good feel for the actual actions, now try to put an imaginary opponent in front of you. Right? Watch his blade. Watch his blade try to push yours aside, avoid it, and go find it again. Now, his blade, right, it's pushing across like that, and you don't want to go find it here. You want to go find it over there because that's where it ended up. Sorry, my screen is going the other direction. All right, his blade's going that way. I'm avoiding it. I'm not going there. I'm going there to find it. All right, so put it in your head. Okay, and this is once you've got the basic actions down. All right, so because you can't think of, just like when you fence. When you fence is actually bout, that's not the time to actually be working on your technique, right? You've worked on your technique, now it has to work for you. So if you're playing with an imaginary opponent, it's the same thing. You got your technique down, now let's work on the timing and the actual positioning by watching where his sword is going. So that's a note for everybody. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Any questions, comments, Mark?
No,
Okay.
I'll work on it.
Okay. I know you will. It's you're one of the best homework submitters. Okay.
You should see the stuff I left out.
That could be useful too, you know. Okay, Nat's up. Okay, so from Nat we have guard changing with stepping. All right.
I kept it really simple for this one.
That's cool. That is cool. Like I said, you know, you can do any part of the drill. And this is probably structurally the most important one. Okay, so I'm going to say right off the bat, that's pretty good work. Did you notice anything amiss?
Yes, many things.
Pick an important one.
One is that my back foot kept creeping forward.
Okay.
And the other is that my front foot kind of kept wiggling back and forth too.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not just the foot. So if you look at this stationary, right? You make that turn to the inside. Okay. See that? Your knee is going along with you. Right? Now your foot's not going along because your foot is planted on the floor. Right? If you had less weight, if you had less contact, or maybe a little bit of lesser contact with the floor, the foot might pivot a little bit too. But you're barefoot on a hardwood floor, so it's kind of sticking, right? But your knee is definitely going along, you know, breaking your structure right there. If you lunged on that, you'd have problems. And then when you step, then you see the inherent problem. So, okay, so your knee is basically not isolated from your body. From the hips up, everything looks great. You're using your body to move your sword, points moving first. I'm seeing that little inclination over the bent knee on the outside. That's all looking good. Again, like I told everybody else, you could, when you're going to the inside, you can pull your left elbow back a little bit just to clear that line a little bit better. All right, so there's your first step, and your knee went where it wanted to go, and you saw your foot go the same place. I can't see that your back foot is coming forward, but I can definitely see that you've lost the linear stance. Back into place, back offline, back into place. All right, so what you need to work on is that bracing of the knee on the towards the outside, right? Again, do it with the simple stationary pivot, and then do it with the stepping. Right? Everything else is looking really good. Okay, any questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
Nope. Do you have any other, like, I mean, how will I be able to feel when do you have any tips for how I know when I'm doing it right besides just looking in a mirror?
Get up against the wall. Hip, knee, and foot on your left side, not on your right side. Left foot, knee, and hip up against the wall. Make that turn. If you lose contact of the wall with your knee, then you know it's going along with you. Right? So just keep pushing your knee into the wall, even as you turn. You'll get the feel for that, and then you'll be able to transfer that feel into the step as well. You can try stepping, sliding along the wall too. but mostly just to check yourself, then try to take it away from the wall.
Got it. Thank
Okay.
you.
You bet. All right, Sydney is up. All right, what do we got from Sydney? Side view.
Sorry about the room.
Yeah, well, we're all kind of used to your room by now.
Mhm.
Okay. So we have the first version of the drill. And again, let's keep in mind you're using a dagger, so your cavazioni are not going to be that great.
There is some weight at the end of it, so it does act a little closer.
Yeah, but you see how you're moving, you're using your wrist, right? You're not using your fingers, and you're not only using.
There's not a lot of grip, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just that you're using your wrist, but you're also kind of popping your hand up in order to drop your point. There, you see that? And that's a lot of people do that with their swords. That's how they calve. I don't agree with that at all. I think it adds extraneous motion and makes the action sloppier. And just if you're not actually balancing a 4-foot sword on your index finger, there's no way to do it the way that I prescribe. So that's just something that's a problem with using the wrong weapon. Okay, this is pretty decent. Good true times. I would say your lunges are a little on the flung side, just a little. I see a little bit of pop of the arm.
Hmm.
All right, and the effect of that. All right, let's go back. Okay, so look where your arm is now, right? Your forearm is like just below your window casing. Now look, and you see where it ended up, right? So your arm popped.
Fair.
Yeah. So you fail the tabletop test. Yeah, it's tricky. But again, visualize your opponent's blade. Your opponent's blade is under you, or rather, it's moving under your own blade, and you want to trap it down there. You want to drop your terza down on top of it. The visualization will help. That's for everybody. Okay. Let me see. So, okay. So that is, yeah, that was that one. So form is good. Control of line is good. Just,
How's stepping?
Step. I have no problem with your stepping.
I was worried I was being a little jittery. I think the next one should be Fabris.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna look at your steps here again.
Oh.
No, that's cool. That's very nice. That's very controlled. I don't see any rocking. You're keeping your feet at the correct pace. You're not leading with the heel. That I could tell. Yeah, no, that all looked pretty good.
Oh, good. Good thing that practicing at 4 in the morning because you can't sleep helps.
Remember this, guys. Use your insomnia. All right, same thing from a Fabra stance. I think this is basically the same thing. Everything is good. Yeah, and then we get that hyperextension of terza. Yeah. Rather than bringing it down on top of the blade. Yeah. So let's just keep that terza relaxed. Let me see if we got anything else for that. Yeah, yeah. So just remember that the action, that action is a guard change, and you are trying to bury his cavazione, right? It's going under, fall down on top of it.
I gotta remember, one of the monikers I tried using when studying this is to strike with the shoulder and not the hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the shoulder's got to go to the right place, right? Bring the shoulder.
Oh yeah, no, because I was striking with the hand, not the shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. And then we have one more. I think I'm.
It should be just the front version.
Yeah. And let's see, I think I've got a problem seeing this one again. Yeah. All right. Hang on. I downloaded this too. Let me go find it. Okay, I have to reshare. Okay, so front version, fiber stance. Yeah, so you still see that little pop there. You're definitely closing the outside line very well, right? You're keeping everything in line with the shoulder. You're not leaning off the side.
Yeah, that's one of my main focuses.
Yeah, you've got one of the better Fabris postures that I've seen. Now you start this action from the inside fine, so I don't actually see you going towards the inside fine. And but what I do see is that your body is your arm and sword are crossing the center line.
Yeah, I should use like one of the other 50 takes.
Okay, yeah. So your body is not really driving your sword here. You see, there's a lot of target under your sword.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, so I would have liked to have seen you start from a well-formed terza and then moving into that fine.
I was kind of debating just like because the other way to do that is just to refuse the body more, and I might as well just be in quarta anyway. So I was just trying to figure out the balance, and I guess I didn't quite hit it.
How do you mean? So
I think it was right here, for example. I just did that.
Yeah. Okay. So go to your terza. Go to your well-formed terza. Okay. Now, using the body, move your point across your line. There. That's it. Yeah. So now, get your elbow back. Yeah. So now there's.
I thought we were trying to avoid doing that in progress.
I beg your pardon?
I thought we were trying to avoid doing that.
Who?
I know Ted gets a lot of crap for it.
Oh, I just enjoy giving Ted crap.
I mean, there's a lot to give him crap, but over that, okay, fair enough.
The body mechanics are the same. They're just, from a forward lean rather than a backward lean.
I mean, I just got to bring my sword over a little more, but yeah, fair enough.
It's not a matter of where you're putting your sword, it's how you're putting it there. It's using your body to move it, because at the same time as you move your body, you move your sword across the line with your body, everything is joined together, and you're also refusing the opposite line at the same time. And that's a very, very Fabris way of looking at things.
All right, fair enough.
That's what we were talking about on Thursday, that the idea of I'm covered and everything else goes away. I'm covered in this one line and every other line disappears. All right.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay. And last up, unless somebody else has submitted anything in the meantime, nope. We've got Jeremy. Jeremy is giving me a side view of. Okay, so I think it's just kind of a truncated version of the basic drill. There we go. Okay. Let's see, Jeremy with the katana. Actually, that's not a katana. Well, what is the single-handed version called?
Wakizashi.
Thank you. Okay, so Jeremy, this is a really good example of what I was talking about tensing up the shoulders so that the arms, both arms, tend to not lead the actions, right? See, let's go back. Okay, so so there, Jeremy, you stick out your sword arm, good timing, but you're hiking up your attached shoulder. You're almost bringing it to your cheek, right? Rather than letting it drop. And so now you have this straight hyperextended line going slightly downward. The chicken wing is going more back than up. If you relax that shoulder, just drop that shoulder, lift up the elbow, and while keeping it relaxed, it will tip your body forward into the proper position. So what you need to do is, as you go through this drill, check your shoulders at every step of the way. If you begin an action, pause, drop shoulders, keep going.
All right.
Okay. See it again. I just want to check my notes here. Yeah, that's basically what I've got. There, little jittery foot there, front foot coming to guard. All right. Try to have it in place. Just step back from it. That's just something you want to practice. Right? The simple action of coming to guard, but not shifting anything once your feet land. Yeah. So that's basically what I had to say about that. Everything else looks okay. Yeah, so you're basically giving me lunges by cavazione, and then we have the same thing from the front. I think I'm going to have a problem with that video as well. Yeah, that's weird. Everybody's last video. Okay. Let me go find that. Share. Okay, so this is from the front. Yeah. All right. Okay, good turn of body. Okay, and we still got the hyperextension. No, watch your front knee. All right. Okay, let's go back and see that again. Yeah, so I believe as you go to the inside find, yeah, you see how your knee's following you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so work the same way as I told Nat, brace your knee out, do it against the wall if you need to. And this doesn't just affect your structure and balance, it also affects where you're targeting, because your body tends to want to go in the direction of your knee. Mark was having this problem as well, right? If the knee turns in and you're going to the outside, you're not going to be closing that line. You have to think of closing the outside line with everything you've got. Leg, hip, arm, shoulder, all right? So everything, so if you're going from the inside to the outside and in a strike, everything slams up against that wall as you go forward. Fortunately, there's no wall or you would hurt yourself. All right, good. Yeah, so you see how the hyperextension brings your hand into your, closer to your center line, right? You see that little angle of your point. Your point's where it should be, just your hand should be behind it. So that's just gonna be a hyperextension issue. And for you, I believe that is mostly in your shoulders.
Yeah, seems about right.
Yeah, okay. But everything else is looking pretty decent. Cavazione are looking smooth. Good, just nice down up action. Okay, yeah, so that's it. Watch that knee and watch those shoulders. That may take you a while to actually to get down, but that's where you are. You've got basic actions down, but you've got those little those two joints that are holding you back. Unfortunately, those two joints are kind of important.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Okay. Okay, guys, and that's what I've got. Those are all the submissions. Like I said, everything that we've done, you can submit homework on at any point. I will review them as I get them. Next week, we're going to, I haven't quite decided what we're going to do next week, but I think we're simply going to add on to this drill. We don't quite have time to start that today, but we're going to keep working with this drill and add a little bit of offline motion, both in stepping and in striking. This is stuff that we've done a little bit of in class, but we'll take the opportunity to firm it down now. Okay, does anybody have any questions? I haven't looked at the chat lately.
There's nothing in the chat. We're just making fun of Ted.
Why isn't he here? Okay.
It's too early for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the bar to take care of, right? Okay. So, any questions? Any clarifications needed from anybody? Okay. Okay, guys. Good work. I'm seeing a lot of good work and a lot of things to keep working on. So if you need any clarifications from me over the week, you know where to find me. And we will continue with this on Monday. All right.
That's good.
Thanks
All
so
right,
much,
guys.
John.
All right, thanks.
Thanks,